Greetings, Saber fans. Tommy here with another review. This time it's not actually on a lightsaber itself, but it is for the Quick Disconnect Saber Coupler, compatible with all of the MHS compatible hilts. I purchased this because with my Jedi character that I do here, I wanted to be a staff wielder. So the best way to do that, because I wanted to actually have fun with it also, and they have the regular standard straight couplers, but with those, your staff is fixed as a staff. I like the option of being able to portray either whether it's in a fight that my saber staff got cut in half, and now I have two individual pieces, such as kind of what you see with Darth Maul fights, or I just wanted to be able to break it apart, dual wield with two individual sabers for a period during my fight with my partner, and then be able to go ahead and snap the thing right back together into a staff. Great versatility. They come vented, as you can see, so that way if your saber does have sound, which the two hilts that I have to make my staff do both have sound, the sound comes out nice, crisp, and after a little bit of practice, you're able to go ahead and actually get this thing broken down pretty fast to split your staff into two individual pieces. So I'm going to try to focus in so that way you can actually see the ring. It is just a basic ball bearing type connection. So this that you see here pulls down. You can see it moving there. And as that pulls down, this other end slips right on out. And you see that groove right there is where the ball bearings, that you can see them right in there, there's four of them, lock into place. So that way everything is nice and held tightly and firm together. So again, after a little bit of practice, you get a feel for where you can grab and you can have it broken down part way to stage through your fight. You can see a little bit that gap right there. Yep, you can see that gap in the background of my shirt there. That's where it's not fully seated, but it's partially seated. They just snapped all the way in together there. I have one of my fights where I get kicked in the back and I'm stumbling away. While I'm doing that, I get my staff into this position here. This way, when I turn back around, all I have to do is just a quick, simple, boom, pops right apart. So, great. I love that for it. I made some of the other staff wielders in my club jealous when they realized that I actually had the quick disconnect on mine. And we have a few other folks that have staffs. One of them also has the quick disconnect, with seeing the versatility that I was able to demonstrate with mine. Goes back together just as well. All you have to do is just, boom, give it a nice firm push together, and it holds up nice and tight. Now, if you're going to be taking these on and off your saber frequently, such as I do for the packing, I have a nice storage case where all of my pieces are all kept individual and separate. So mine are on and off the saber if I'm using it as a staff, or if I'm using those hilts as an individual hilt. I'm taking this on and off all the time and putting the regular pommel back on. So I always definitely want to recommend you take good care of your threads. You know, keep them clean, lubricated. Try not to get them too burred up, because over time they get dirty, a little bit stiff and dry. They'll really lock in tight, and you'll need to use a wrench right into the pommel, the vents, just kind of like so, just to help break that free and loose, or to tighten it back up. There's nothing worse than you're going around and you're fighting and dueling, and the threads on this start to come out of your pommel. So I always go ahead and I just give it that extra half a turn, really cinch down on there, and I'm usually being very careful with that. So if you give me just a moment, in a sec here, I'm going to grab the two sabers that I purchased with this coupler that I'm making my saber staff out of, and I'll attach them onto the ends real quick, just for a quick demonstration and view appearance of the hilts only. I'm not going to bother with the blades. It's a tight spot right here, so yep. Alright, we'll get these screwed onto the ends. Definitely very happy with these. Alright, there we go. So, here are my two hilts that I have to make up my staff. As you can see, there's a light side, dark side with this of the same model. I have cover text on each. That way, if I'm carrying one or both of these, I can actually carry them on my belt. But go ahead and look for my videos that I'm going to have uploaded for my individual review of each of these saber hilts. I'll do them each individually since they're separate, different models from them. So you can see we have the quick disconnect on. I always put the one that has the coupling end on my silver saber, since silver blade, that has the most silver on it. And I put the smaller one on my black saber hilt. That way it also helps for me to know at a glance what saber I need to be holding in the dominant hand to activate that quick disconnect. Because there's nothing worse than you go and you're holding it this end and, oh, whoops, it doesn't work. So always be mindful of what end is what. We go ahead and you see, boom, right together. It gives a good grip for that midpoint of your staff. Adds only a few inches. I say that's maybe what, 3 inches, 3.5 inches or so. So it does not add a whole lot of extra length overall. You know, the other nice thing is they do spin on that bearing in the middle, inside there. So that's good. So that way, depending on how you're holding, you can see my hands are fixed, but that staff is turning. So depending on my movements, that all holds nice and firm. Break it apart, boom. Just as easy as that. Again, you practice a little bit, and you'll be able to just go ahead and, boom, break it apart just as fast. Snaps together just as easily. Both hands, piece of cake. It's a great accessory if you like to experiment with a staff and be able to break it apart to simulate it being cut in half, or it's just a modular weapon that you have for your own character that you can go from fighting with a staff to fighting with two individual sabers. So there we go. That is my review on the quick disconnect coupler from Ultrasabers. So take care and happy sabering.